We're thinking about changing our name.
Yes.
Maybe.
To our original idea.
Yeah. We should have
New
just
Space is still
with
our
it.
company. But, yeah. Should I say it out here first to see what people think?
No, we don't want anybody to take it.
Nah, yeah, you're
It's
right.
too good.
It's too good.
And it's not out there yet. Like, I remember we looked it up and nothing out there. Nobody was even close to having that.
Yeah.
name.
All right, we're going to do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Dang. We got a lot of work to do now.
Yeah, we do.
That's for sure.
We
That's
do.
okay.
With my new machine, I'll be able to help.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lots of new things. Let's
Okay.
get straight into this episode. Ife.
Okay, this is a New Space podcast.
Mhm.
I'm Ife, and this is
Yes.
Jackson.
Jackson.
His name is Yes.
That's correct.
Where we talk about the new space of the music industry, the ups and downs of being an artist and recording artist from the perspective of the producers and engineers that you work with every day.
Correct. Fire.
Do you know one of the main reasons, even though you brought this one up,
Yeah.
one of the main reasons why I was excited to do it?
Huh.
Because I'm moving over, and we're going to have a whole nother conversation about this. I'm moving over from a 2019 Mac Pro Tower,
Yeah.
right? Super fancy at the time when it came out, to a Mac Studio M2 Max. And I'm having to move over all my plugins, right? And I'm having to look up stuff that I haven't used since I bought them. I'm spending 15, 20 minutes trying to find my license keys to activate them, even though they're going to go back to like never being used again still.
Yeah.
But
So why are you going through every single one? Why not start with a blank template and add them as you
need them.
like want to?
I don't want
them?
to open a session and be like, missing plugins.
Well,
It's gonna
obviously
piss me
you
off.
could just sit down and think. Like you could write. I could sit down and write down. If I could only have 20 plugins, and I'd start with a batch.
Yeah. So my UAD was the first thing to come on.
Yeah.
Because I think I have almost all of them.
Yep.
There's a cool story behind that. We're going to get into
how does
that.
that happen?
So-
You got the plug, bro.
Let me tell you what happened. Don't tell UAD. I hope UAD never sees this video.
Oh, they're gonna see it.
But check this out. This was years ago. They were moving from console 1 to console 2. They're in console 2 now.
Yeah.
And when it was console 1, I remember it was my birth, like around like February, March. And I was like, I'm going to give myself some plugins, for my birthday, whatever. And I kid you not, about $1,000 worth of plugins in my cart. Not because I was going to get all of them, but I just like, okay, I'm just like researching. You know how I research.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick the ones that I want and, just kind of like clear the cart of the rest. But I narrowed them down. And then I go in, they literally do the switch overnight.
Yeah.
Right? They push the new updates. I go to my account and I swear I see 5 or 6 coupon codes that are very unlike the regular ones. They were like 11 letter long codes for coupons, right? Remember I told you I had I think it was like $1,200 worth of plugins.
Yeah.
Right, UAD plugins. This is only 5 or 6 because they're stupid expensive, especially at the time. I put in a code, bro. I kid you not, it drops down $300. I was like, what?
See,
Bro. And then I go back in, I hit refresh, one of the codes goes away. So I was like, okay, this is definitely a glitch.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna. So I put in all the codes that were left, right? My cart goes from $1,000 plus to $50, and I had one more code left. I was like, I'm not going to risk it because it's going to go negative, right? And I'm just going to I'm not going to be too greedy.
Yeah.
Bro, I bought those plugins immediately. So I got like $1,000 worth of plugins, $1,200 worth for like $50.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's not the end. They stopped doing something else that they used to do back in the day. If you bought one of those the accelerators or whatever, you would get
Wait, like the little lightning thing?
Yeah, no, the
Satellite?
extra satellites.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would, if you bought one of those, you would get if you already had a plugin that was on their list for get it free, they would give you the monetary value of that. They don't do that anymore. So I happened to pick plugins that were on the list. So I bought the satellite fair and square, but like 4 of the plugins were already in my account that I got for free or for $50 or whatever,
Yeah.
right? I didn't get the monetary value of what I didn't pay for. That's another like $1,000.
Yeah.
And I used that to buy a bunch of other plugins.
Dang.
That was what locked me into
That's
UAD.
unfair.
I was
so
like, this
upset.
is God just telling me that
Yeah.
I'm a UAD guy. You know what I mean?
No, they're crazy, dude.
That's what happened. So UAD, I'm pretty sure it didn't happen to just me. Probably happened to a couple other people, but that's what happened to me.
They're just selling you a license to use their software.
Every company, every
That's
plugin.
what upsets me about like how few plugins came with my Apollo.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me really depressed.
I think I have like 80% of them now.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
Kind of crazy.
I mean, I got what I need. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I do have a question. Is the satellite like really worth it? Is it more powerful?
Not anymore.
No.
Absolutely not anymore.
Why?
Because technology has changed.
You're saying like your computer
Like
now?
especially if you have one of the M1 or M2, the Mac, what's it called? The silicon chips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need it.
So does a UA plugin sound better ran off an Apollo versus
No.
off the computer?
No, it just means it's just not using resources from your computer. It's using it off of the DSP processor. So it's like basically extra CPU for your computer.
I don't know why, dude. I feel like specifically the auto tune ran off. It could be complete placebo, but I feel like Antar's auto tune ran off the Apollo. Sounds extra slippery, and it gives it that. I don't know.
I think it's probably because it's optimized for it. So you're hearing milliseconds of improvement over the native
Yeah.
one. That's probably what it
I
is.
have noticed actually how the Apollo it'll overload pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like it does not have that much power.
No, it doesn't.
It's crazy. But yeah, so don't buy a satellite. You're saying. Honestly, I would get the satellite just for the free plugins that
No,
come
but a
with
bunch
it.
of their plugins are going native. Like the Ampex 102 tape used to be CPU heavy, but it's native now. On a M1 or M2, it's
Well, they're doing
easy money.
the UADX.
What's that?
It's like, Spark.
Mm-hmm.
It's that. It's all their plugins, but anybody can use them without an Apollo.
All their plugins are native now?
I don't know about all of them, but I think,
think it's
a
all
lot
of
of the
them.
main
Yeah.
nice. So that's the thing. I did get a lot of those with my Apollo,
Okay.
but I was like, "What's the point? My Apollo's not gonna help the process of that."
But their plugins are bar none some of the best in the industry. A lot of people say it's Universal Audio, and then Acoustica.
Yeah,
Them Acoustica and Soft Tube, and probably Plugin Alliance. They're the Mount Rushmore for like great sounding plugins. There's some other. Oh, that's that new company that makes they make the plugins that have the weird names. I can't remember.
have you?
That is plugin is black and white. We'll put it on the screen if you remember. But yeah,
If we remember,
yeah, I remember. I'll
If
get it.
Jeff will have to remember.
Yeah,
But,
make a note, please, Jeff. Thank you.
But do you follow that Instagram page called Audio Hertz?
Mm-mm.
They're a meme page about like music production and stuff, and they drop plugins, and it's really cool plugins. It's like literal fan spinning, like a office fan spinning. You run your audio through it, and it does that thing, when you put your mouth up to a fan and talk, and it like chops it up. It does that. They do things literally, and then there's a car AC,
I've seen that one.
and you can like heat it up and like
yeah,
cool
and
it
that's
down.
supposed to be like saturation.
I think so.
Yeah, I've seen that
I
one.
think so.
Yeah,
But that's funny. I think that's really
Hey,
funny.
send me the page. I gotta check that out.
Yeah, they're funny. That's smart. Make a meme page and then just make some plugins. They're not selling they're not
I
selling.
follow all the serious. I follow Alicia and I follow UAD and I follow all the serious plugin manufacturers. I
Yeah.
need something like that to follow.
Man, I've recently been just deep diving because I do YouTube, myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been deep diving on like small people like
Mm-hmm.
doing mixing tutorials. And it's crazy. Like this one guy's doing a tutorial and he says he's pulls up an 1176 plugin. He's like, "All right, so what you want to do is set your attack really fast." So he turns it to 1 and your release really slow. So he turns it to 7. It's like this dude's getting like thousands and thousands of views, and so many people are in the comments like, "Thank you so much, thank you so much." He's just doing everything wrong. It's like he literally is doing the opposite of what he thinks he's doing.
What does it sound like though? Does it sound good?
I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to what it sounded like. I was just amazed that like,
I mean, because it's easy to be like to set up something to where like, okay, I know that this setting sounds really good on this source material, and that's what he puts out.
no, he was saying for vocals, set your settings like this.
No example,
No, he was giving an example,
right?
but it's one of those ones where I could tell it's kind of like that level where it's a one size fits all, like preset world, that kind of stuff. I just was like, it's interesting going and seeing there's like so many levels to this of like expertise. And it's good to like, if you want to feel like you know what you're talking about, you want to feel smarter about your like niche, go on YouTube and you'll find some people like in the dirt. They're still doing it.
That's true, but sometimes you have to know enough to know that that's BS.
Right. And no hard feelings towards the guys making tutorials that don't know what they're talking about. They're getting it in. They're doing more than a lot of really
Heck
good
yeah, they're
pros
doing more
are
than
doing
me.
it. That's so like props to them, and they'll honestly figure it out because people in the there was a couple people in the comments telling this dude like, "Bro, you got it kind of backwards,"
Mm-hmm.
and he just liked the comment, responded, "Oh shoot!" Like
Thank
you'll
you
learn
for-
more by putting it out there.
Yeah,
And people in the community, I've run into some crazy mean people
yeah.
in this community, but most people are pretty nice and like understand that it's a really cool thing, and a lot of people really want to get into it, and not everybody has the means of learning in the traditional manner.
One thing I think about you is that there are things that we've talked about with audio and mixing and whatever that I know that you kind of addressed on your channel, but you don't address them in such a way that you're saying something that you're not sure of. You only talk about the things that you're sure. You probably don't even notice that you do that, but you only talk about the things that you know for a fact that this is it. This is the way. At least this should get you in the right direction because every song is different. So kudos to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, because that's something. It's hard because this is something that when somebody's like a professional, there's it's an endless rabbit hole of knowledge of in this space. It's like that's something I'm insecure about when like I do videos on mastering and stuff, is knowing there's people out there who have calculators on their desk while they're mastering.
Yeah,
that's a whole different level, and obviously we both know that like there's so many different things like taste going into it. What does the song want? What is are you gonna go for a less clinical feel? All these things going into it, like. That's a good thing to know.
That's cool and everything. I don't know why I just thought about this pianist. I can't remember his name. He wrote Misty, the jazz standard. I can't remember his name. But look up Misty, jazz standard. Whoever wrote that piece. One of the most crazy pianists you ever heard in your life. Right? Couldn't read music. Right? And there was a union at the time for like jazz musicians, and they wouldn't let him in because he couldn't read music. But he was so good, eventually had to let him in. And I bring that up because, there's a standard and there's the ways to measure these things. But at the same time, if you're good, you're good. You know what I'm saying? So if you're mastering and it sounds fantastic, your client's happy, and people listen to it are happy, you're doing something right. Your feel is there, right? Your ear is there. You might use an attack and a release combination that doesn't work, and you fiddle with it till you get it right. Some people don't have either patience or even the knowledge to know to go to the attack and release. Yeah. So I mean, whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's about with music. There's this end goal of your preference, like what you want music to sound like, and how you get there is unique. Like the kid we talked about, Lil Man J, he's got his fingers can't bend. I showed you a picture of him and you recognized him.
Uh huh.
He sounds like Lil Baby, or he did off his
Oh
first
yeah,
music. He
yeah,
started
yeah,
doing
yeah.
like country music recently. He plays the
Really?
guitar. He can't bend his fingers, so he plays the guitar over the top and plays it. And that's the thing. To any if like it's about finding a way to your desired end goal,
Mm-hmm.
and however you can do it, you do it. Because some people don't have that super mathematical, like literal thinking
Yeah.
when it comes to music, and they just mix and master off pure feeling.
Right.
And then you've got the the people who are very mathy and love to dive into the science of it. And
Man, bruh, trust me, I've been in situations where I've heard about the people with 15 Grammys whose stuff got rejected for smaller whatever.
yeah,
Stacy Brathwaite, for instance. You know Stacy.
Leslie.
Leslie Brathwaite.
Oh my
There's a Stacy
gosh.
Brathwaite. She's a songwriter,
Oh,
Grammy-winning
okay.
songwriter.
All right, you
So
saved.
yeah, but Leslie, amazing engineer. He was working with Dallas Austin, and just the engineer, right? And they were sending. He was engineering in the studio. They were sending some song out to all these big engineers, and they did like 14 versions, and they couldn't get it right. And like Leslie was like had the files, so he messed with it. And Dallas Austin, his boss, was like, "Whoa, what version is that? Who which Grammy Award winning engineer did that? And when did it come in?" Like, no, that's me. Are you kidding? That's how we can it popped
Mm,
off.
yeah,
If it wasn't for Dallas Austin, he'd be like somewhere doing mixes for I don't know how much or not, but now he's a legend in the game.
yeah,
People literally book for him to mix their stuff. Like if he's on vacation, they'll wait. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
yeah,
That's what I'm trying to get to for real.
yeah. That'd be super nice.
Yeah.
I need to start integrating a longer lead time.
Yeah,
What do
why?
you usually say when someone asks your lead time or
I asked
turnaround?
I asked them what they need.
Oh,
If they say, "Oh, when is
that's smarter because they'll
yeah."
most likely not ask for something too quick because they
Right.
just out of
I
like
put them on the calendar based on what they need.
consideration.
Sometimes they hit me up like, "Hey, we're releasing in 2 weeks, and I got to get it done now because they got to get it to the DSPs, and they got to do all the back end stuff or whatever. So I got to
Yeah.
do it right away. If I have a client who's not releasing till December, I'm gonna push that off a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting question. We got to get into plugins here pretty
This
soon.
can be this can be what it is for this episode. Seriously,
What is it?
I don't know. We'll figure that out later. I'm
Okay.
serious because
Okay.
I'm really enjoying the conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so we can make it what it is.
Okay.
How long we been going?
22 minutes.
We got 5 more minutes and we got a whole episode.
Let's go. Let's go 10 more minutes because we had a little intro about plugins specifically.
Okay.
I want. Oh shoot. Where was it? Okay.
Snap your finger when, yeah.
I got a good
Do your
question.
thing.
So I had a client come to me off YouTube, wants a mix,
Mm-hmm.
sends me the demo mix, his mix, and it was like good,
Okay.
good. Has that ever happened to you where the reference mix, like with where the version 1 or demo or whatever
Yeah.
was like, you're like, whoa,
Bro,
That's
listen,
good.
to me, those are the most challenging mixes.
yeah,
Because I'll say I'm blessed enough to where that's happening to me more often
yeah,
than not. And I love it because
Yeah.
it's pushing me, right?
Mm.
Sometimes they're having the tracking engineer in the studio do a rough mix.
yeah,
These guys are usually like they've come out of Full Sail. They've been doing this thing for a long time. They're mix engineers in their own right.
yeah,
But then it's still coming to me. But they've done a rough mix that the artist is over their shoulder when they're doing it. So they're getting what they want, but they
Yeah.
just want to take it to the next level.
right.
Um,
And usually at that point, they understand it's not like crazy day and night transformation where you're
Mhm.
like you can barely hear the background vocals to being like everything is touching your sides of your head.
Right.
Like a lot of engineers I watch on YouTube. Do you watch Produce Like a Pro,
Yeah.
Warren?
Yeah. I haven't
I'm
watched
actually
it
in
in a
his
long
academy.
time. You are? Oh, nice.
It's really cool. There's like a Discord of just like thousands of engineers and things like that. But like he'll show the demo mix and what his finished product was, and you can absolutely hear it's a full on improvement.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all subtle, like, reasonable stuff, and you can tell he wasn't like overcompensating for some insecurity fighting for the mix.
Mm-hmm.
He knew his value and what was best for the song ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's
I think I was caught in that for a while. Like sometimes, like I'd be like, okay, the kick's got to kick, harder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and I'll like try to beat the reference that way,
right.
and it was like, dude, the kick's too loud.
Yeah. And
after
maybe
a
they
while-
just need the reassurance of you being like, I preserved what all sounded good. You
Yeah,
killed the demo
yeah.
mix, and I tightened up this, and this.
And for me, we were going to talk about, analog versus digital, but that's where analog really comes into play for me because I
Yeah.
know that when I'm running it through
You can get that
a
little
passive EQ, analog passive EQ, or API EQ, or like a really dope VCA compressor, or doing my width with hardware,
Yeah.
it just has a different vibe that you can't replicate off of code that's been copied in multiple places all over the world.
Yeah.
So I think that
major
helps.
edge.
Yeah.
Major edge. Just cracking it open and just like it's like a rock, those crystals, and they'll like split it in half and then it falls over. That's what it's like. It's like you're just like there's your song.
And then sometimes it's good to know like the background of a song. Like if I know it's coming from a room where like I mixed a record that came from Chalice in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Chalice has this beautiful SSL board, and I know that they got the Telefunkins and the C800s and the Poltex or whatever, so they're tracking through some crazy analog gear.
Yeah.
I know that when I get it, I don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. Sometimes I just need to balance things a little bit differently, and just get things right, And then I know that, okay, for the beat stems, that's where I want to, plug in some analog because that's all coming from, samples, right?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
but not
That's
all,
what happened.
not every
That's what
single
happened.
time. Yeah.
I'm excited to start this guy's project because I was like, dude knows what he's doing. The good part is he sent me like, and that's the thing, he sent me. I specifically asked, what are the weak points in your demo that you would really like to see? Like,
Good question.
What are you noticing? Dude gave me a whole list of
Good for you.
yeah, and I was like, dang. He's like, sorry, he's in London.
Nice.
Interesting enough. But he gave me a whole list of things, and I'm like, dude, that is so helpful. Like, I just feel good about going forward in it, and I know what his expectations are, and they make sense. Now I'm not left with my underlying like desire to overcompensate and make it a night and day difference. I touch the points he wants, master it nicely, send her back.
Yeah. Love it, man. I want to hear it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Some of the demos, I just want to hear where they're at.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, like, just bringing the instrumentals up around the vocals and
Yeah.
everything else he said. I mean, I was like, whoa, this is nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. But, nothing a little SSL Fusion can't spice up, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey, man, listen.
Just a little,
That's that
like
thing
a
is
NASCAR
fire.
race. Pit stop.
It's dope.
Swag.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
If I
that.
find one on sale on Reverb or something, I'm gonna pick one up.
But what does it do that you wouldn't get here?
Nothing. It just does what it does differently. It's SSL.
Yeah, and
You
there's times I've turned it off. I didn't like it on a song. I mean, that
And that's-
happens with everything.
That's maturity, man.
yeah,
That's maturity.
Yeah.
Man, dude, I spent on that 2BQ,
yeah.
and I've had to turn it off.
That thing's crazy.
I've had to
I
turn
don't know
it
that
off.
I'm that mature to turn that thing off.
Nah,
I'd be
man, I've had to turn it
like,
off.
2K.
But then guess what? There have been other records where I turned everything else off except it,
Yeah,
and it was exactly what was needed.
yeah,
I think the growth as engineers is really being able. We have to be like, house.
mm-hmm.
the show,
Yeah.
the doctor.
Mm.
You know how he can just like look at somebody sideways and be like, yeah, you have a posterior, issue, and yeah, you've been having that for 3 weeks and 2 days, and like the way he's able to do that, even though it's his TV, whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I could do that as an engineer, I'm set, bro.
Yeah.
And I think that every engineer is working towards that, being able to listen to something and be like, this is what it needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like you diagnose and like just attack it. You
Yeah.
know.
I love the fact that we're in a field where there is no like you can reset a standard. Like you can create a new standard in a new genre, and there's so many ways around. Like if you're having a hard time getting a vocal to sound right, start thinking of ways to like make it creatively different. Then everything can be played off as like intentional.
Yeah.
But if you're taking a brittly vocal and trying to make it sound like Post Malone, like right in front of your face, those things are gonna show. But how do you?
I mean,
work what you
if they
got?
give you a Post Malone reference, then maybe that's what you got to do.
No, yeah, that's true, and I kind of say that in more so the sense like. Also, when it comes to creating music, like producing and writing your own music, you can completely bypass the mixing standard. So you can completely like when you're making a song, and if say you're like insecure about your quality, make something that it cannot be compared to anything. Like do something insane. Like, that's what I find cool.
That requires a lot of work. The same way a singer or songwriter has to craft their sound, and like I can't imagine how many hours Kendrick Lamar has put into creating his sound. Right?
Yeah.
He's been in the gym. Like as an engineer, you got to be in the gym for that. It's just not going to happen with your Fat Filter plugins, and your SSL Fusion and your Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I ain't got one of those. I'm
yeah.
not gonna get one either.
Not just said something that you have and something that I have. Yeah.
I ain't gonna get one of those.
Yeah. No,
I actually would. It sounds
good.
Yeah, it's
I
really
mean,
cool.
I should put a pillowcase over it.
Just a bag over its head.
Put a bag over its head. But yeah, it sounds crazy. I love it. I actually wouldn't get rid of it for anything. Like seriously.
It does its thing.
And I can upgrade it too. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah.
To what?
I can get like different op amps, and it just slots in, and it gives it a different character. Like instead of like a SSL 1073, like a 8821 or whatever, the 1082, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Like it'll change the feel of the Neve circuit and the API circuit based on what you put in it.
Interesting. Super interesting. It's a cool piece.
It is.
All your stuff is cool.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I feel like this is like, as of right now, my signature sound. You know, there's probably not 5 people in the world that have the exact combination of stuff that I have, if that.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well, but anyhow, guys, thank you for listening to our random conversation episode.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's all we got.
That's
it's
all
been
we
a
got.
New Space podcast. I'm Ife, or Ife Love.
Yes, you are.
And that's Jackson, a.k.a.
Yes, you are.
Sir Jackson. Right?
Young stallion.
Yeah. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. And for every episode that we do, there is going to be a free mix attached. So subscribe, like it, and just tell us you want a free mix in the comments. And you might get picked.
I got to say one more thing real quick.
From Detroit?
He comments on all of our videos. I was going to say shout out to him.
No.
How do you say that name?
J. Tate Singer?
Let me see it.
J-
It's definitely...
JT.
All right. This is a big shout out to our guy. I have no idea how to say your name. I'm so sorry, dude. JTA It's Singer. J Tate Singer.
Or JT? I think it might be JT.
I don't know. You should drop on this episode. You should drop a thing.
Yeah.
But shout out to you. We appreciate your support.
Nah,
and
for
it's
real,
only
we
up from
do.
here. We'll never forget you. You have our word.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hit us up. Anything you need, we got you. All right?
Yeah, you win.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You win the free mix and master.
Yeah.
Or if you don't make music specifically, maybe you're an engineer, or maybe you're. Who else could be watching?
We'll find a way to support what you're doing, whatever you're
maybe
doing.
you've got like a kid or somebody who makes music, cousin.
Yeah,
That's what's up. But that's it.
we're out.